All right, we're back with more of Avernum 2 Crystal Souls, where we are about to explore the town of Silvar. Nice to revisit Silvar again after all this time. And here's the job board. Rampaging Ghast. There is a persistent occupation of undead in a cavern to the northeast of Murtis. Constant help is needed to manage the mindless hunters that emerge from it. The pack of ghast just inside the entry has been emerging to harass nearby farms. Commander Lynn of Murtis will pay a bounty if you can kill the group of ghast just inside. Lost boats. There is a cave to the east of Silvar on the south side of the river. Several boats have disappeared while near it. Some brave adventurer needs to investigate, find out what is happening, and remove any threats. If you succeed in solving the mystery, report to Ruth for a bounty. Message Fort Dranlin. You find a letter on this job board. It is addressed to Commander Meyerwin of Fort Dranlin. Nefair investigation. There is a fortress of Nefarum northeast of Fort Devno. They have been fighting the forces of Avernum. We need to know if they have been working with the Empire or not. This will help understand the enemy's plans and resources. If you assault this fort and find any evidence of whether the Empire has contacted the Nefarum or not, bring the information to Commander Johnson of Fort Devno. Okay, cool. Silvar Arms. Silvar is full of soldiers. Some of them were already stationed here, and some of them fled when Katra was sacked. They are thin and poorly equipped, and they don't look like they're getting a lot of sleep. That is why the soldiers here welcome you wherever you go. To meet an actual hero doing actual things to help the war effort means a lot to them, and you try to be as friendly as possible, time permitting. You meet a heavy-set man with short brown hair and a wild beard. He wears rough, homespun clothes and a silver hammer around his neck. He is polishing the barb when you enter. He's visibly relieved that you aren't a refugee. Hi, I'm Gary. Welcome to Silvar Arms. Always glad to see another soldier. What services do you have here, and how much do they cost? I can give you a nice room. Very nice. Only 5 coins. Also, I've been selling a lot of rations. Let me know if you want to buy some. It's good to see some genuine adventurers here. I could use some food. Gary is relieved to finally have a customer who isn't a destitute refugee. I don't need anything. Oh, a lot of soldiers in town? Yes, soldiers and refugees. Warriors back from the front and refugees from Katra. Everyone's destitute or looking for a fight. He bends close to you. I'm always looking to help out people who help us out. So, if you want, you're welcome to keep your spare stuff in my storeroom. Why so many soldiers here? Because Katra fell, so we're next. We're not going to let them ambush us too. I hope. Get a lot of refugees in here? Way too many. I have to throw them out. It breaks my heart, but I just don't have enough food for them. Where's your storeroom? Down the passage. He points out a door to the south. I ain't using the place, so I'm glad to share it. It's the room at the end of the hall. There are some cobwebs in there, but the supplies are good. Gary continues to wait on you. He still seems relieved to have a potential paying customer at last. Need anything, soldier? Any jobs I can do? He sighs. I am almost ashamed to ask it, but since my last business venture failed, I'm trying to deal in surface items. I can be paid well for genuine sugar from the surface. I will pay you 200 coins for each bag of real sugar you bring me. Real surface sugar, mind you, and pure, not half sand like some mercenaries have tried to sell me. You mentioned a business venture. What was it? A few years back, some adventurers found a natural hot spring for me near Fort Draco. I was building a spa. Then the war started, and well, everything fell apart. I don't need anything else. Alright, fight on, warrior. You know, that was definitely a throwaway quest, though. When it came to finding the hot springs for him. But that's still a nice little callback. Anyway. You meet a Vernite archer about to embark on a major drinking spree. At the moment, he wants someone to talk to. He waves you over, takes a long pull of his ale, and says, "Have a seat. Call me Gibbrain. Life's hard, I take it." He takes a long pull of his ale and shakes his head sadly. I've been pulling patrols out west. Empire raiders are out there. They ain't taking prisoners. They're just killing. The Empire isn't taking prisoners? No, that's the lesson they taught us in Katra. They don't want to take us over. They want revenge. The Empire wants revenge, and they aren't going to stop until there's nobody left down here. And they can do it too. He takes a very long drink. Damn the Empire. That's all I got to say. Damn the Empire. Are Empire troops the only thing causing you problems? He swigs again. No, they ain't all that's out there. We stumbled on a big nest of Sliss too. Barely got away alive. Sliss? I thought they were our allies. Most of them, not all. We found this big hidden lair of them. Been trying to tell our superiors about it, but they don't even want to hear about it now. He drinks. Hey, you're adventurers. Look, head roughly north of Katra a long way and look for the 4 statues. They're out in the middle of nowhere. Stand in the middle of the statues and head straight west a ways and you'll find the Sliss. He drinks more ale. Much more. You don't have any more coherent conversation. There is a Nephil sitting alone at the long table. He sips daintily at a cup of bitter cave cow milk. He turns his round, glittering eyes to you. Rrr. Sit, soldier. I am Arm. How are you? He bows his head. Mrr. I have much sorrow, but my affairs are private for now. Am here for help. Help with what? Be talked to Commander Arlen. Is he who knows help I am here for. Now leave me. We'll eat in peace. You're saying in a human end, don't the Nephilim hate humans? Nephil and human have new peace. Empire kill us all. Must fight together. Okay, so if you want, this is the storeroom where you can store stuff. We have a healing elixir. You enter a tiny storeroom. Some of the limited supplies set aside for Silvar's defense have been left here. Alright, nothing I can take, unfortunately. Oop, I didn't mean to click that. An old man with sparse gray hair sits behind the counter. He laboriously stands up to shake your hand. Then, with a groan, he settles back down again. I'm Ephraim. Welcome to my shop. There is a two-handed sword hanging on the wall behind him. What are you working on? Well, I'm a weaponsmith. You can sell me some weapons or buy some new ones of your own. That's a nice sword on the wall. Oh, that. He looks back at the sword behind him. That's Demon Slayer, he chuckles. Not the real Demon Slayer, I just call it that. Fine blade though, Draco steel. Nah, the real Demon Slayer is in the castle, I think, heavily guarded. Fine blade, I even saw it once. Some adventurers passing through had it. Beautiful work. He sighs. What did the adventurers do with it? After they reforged it and used it to slay this big demon called Grahoth, they gave it to King Micah and it got put away in the castle, in the Great Cave. Or that's what I heard, anyway. Long ways away, to the southwest. He shakes his head. They're probably afraid to let it out again, for fear the Empire will steal it. Oh well. Ephraim watches you sadly. He looks exhausted with the translucent skin of a long-time Avernite. Unusually, he has a huge paunch. Most people in Avernum are very thin. Let's do some trading. Ephraim's weaponry is made from decent iron from Fort Draco. Nice stuff, but nothing like what you can get in the Great Cave. I would like to sell something. I don't need anything. All right, thank you. Come again. You meet a massive Slith warrior. He bows in greeting as you approach. You introduce yourself and he says, "Call me Osses. It is easier to say than my full name." What is your full name? It is Osses Asta Os As Atas Es Hasta. His mouth handles a succession of hisses that make up his name effortlessly. You would have more trouble, obviously. What does that mean? Astatas is my given name. Ashasa means teacher. Usually it is shortened, even Sliss like the shorter version in these lazy times. Astas stands calmly, watching you with unblinking eyes. He shivers slightly as he talks with you. Silvar is not very warm and Slits like a lot of heat. May I ask what services you provide? I am a teacher of ways of warfare. I can train you if you wish. It is my way of bringing peace. The sibilant voice is hard to understand sometimes, but you manage. Peace through preparedness, you mean? Yes. Our peoples are both threatened by the Empire. The war between us brought much hate, but by bringing our skills to you, we hope to show we truly want peace. Oh, okay, this one's just rude here because he's clearly allied with us. So we're just gonna say the proper response. It would be nice to have more peace between our peoples. It is not just nice, it is needed if we are to survive the Empire invasion. I'd like some training. Othas is very skilled in the Slith arts of war. I'm not gonna say his full name again or attempt it. But yeah, pole weapons we can use for battle disciplines later. Hardiness, not really, not so much, but I don't need any training. Then I wish you victory over your foes. Although you could buy, even if you're training certain skills like hardiness, you could still buy a couple levels so you have those extra skill points to post elsewhere. Like later down the line. So that's why it's an option. You have to shake this woman awake. She had nodded off onto a breastplate on the counter. She sits up, shakes her head to clear it, and says, "Forgive me, the war gives me little time to rest. I am Anastasia. Welcome to my shop." Why did you fall asleep? Things have been hectic. Here. Yes, very tiring, both for me and my husband. You can buy armor here. What's worrying your husband? The whole business with the war and the refugees has been very hard. On my husband. Ephraim, I mean. He smiles weakly. If you see him, ask him about Demon Slayer. It will cheer him up. Demon Slayer, I take it that Ephraim is passionate about swords? Ephraim runs the weapon shop. He so loves to talk about his sword, Demon Slayer. It's not the real one, of course, but it's large. He's very proud of it. Anastasia is still very tired, but she is making a great effort to stay awake. Now that you can get a closer look, you can see that she is not just exhausted, but a little ill. Are you feeling ill? She coughs gently. No more than expected. Most people in Avernum start to get very ill after being there for a few years. It's a very harsh place to live. People tend to die young. It doesn't help that I can't sleep. Why can't you sleep? The endless work. I don't want a fellow Avernite to die because I was too lazy to make proper protection for him. Can I purchase some armor? Anastasia works tirelessly to make quality armor. Okay, that is indeed. Whatever happened to her sister Warwick, though? I'm surprised they don't do a callback to that. Maybe it can be because she maybe died in the war or something. I don't know. You explore Silvar's famous park. Guards have kept it free of refugees. Delicate cable trees rise around you, and the burble of the spring nearby is wonderfully relaxing. You rest for a few minutes before getting on with your travels. But yeah, it's possible she's already died at this point. Maybe in the war, just due to age in Avernum. I don't know. You meet a thin girl in her early teens. She's exploring the small park by herself, having as much fun as she can. She curtsies to you. I'm Angarhad. When you met her, she was playing a game involving throwing pebbles at rocks on the ground. Tell me about this park. It's small and lonely, but it's better than the slum. The slum? She points to the southeast. My parents don't let me play in there. It's too rough. Up here it's boring and there's no kids, but it's safer. And Garhad continues to play her game with the pebbles and rocks. You watch for a while, but you can't come up with even a guess of what the rules are. What are you doing out here alone? Looking for friends. There are no kids your age? She sniffles. All my friends were in Katra, but we had to run away, and I can't find them now. Will you play with me? Sure, I can play with you. You play with her a little while. She tries to teach you the rules of an elaborate game involving throwing rocks and pebbles. It makes no sense. You gamely play with her the best you can. It makes her feel a little better, but not much. When you say you have to leave, she seems only a little sad about it. Oh, at least we took the time out of our day to do that for her then, still. Captain Arlen is very surprised to receive the message. He reads it. Ah, a bit out of date, but at least you could deliver it at all. You receive a pouch of coins for your troubles. The commander of Silvar sits at the desk. He's a healthy man well into middle age. You note that, along with his military insignia, he's wearing the mayor's sash. He looks up at you, about to snap at you for interrupting him. Then he recognizes you. Ah, the unexpected hero. Word of your travels travels ahead of you. I'm Captain Arlen, commander and acting mayor of Silvar. What has been happening lately? Well, I've been dealing non-stop with the refugees from the destruction of Katra, dealing with it every minute of every day, so have all my men. So have all my men. We don't have a person to spare to deal with our other problems. How was the Empire able to destroy Katra? A difficult question with tragic results. My guess is that the Empire has a base hidden on one of the islands near Katra. That's the only way, I suspect, that they could have sent a sufficient force undetected. Tell me about the refugees. When Katra was destroyed, they had to leave in an instant. Hardly any time to gather their possessions. We've erected a shanty town for them to the southeast. Try not to disturb them. They have enough problems as it is. How was Katra destroyed? As he says what happens, his voice cracks with anger and frustration. It only happened a few weeks ago. Not long before the barriers went down. A force of crack troops arrived by sea, soldiers on small boats, supported by a force of eye-beasts. They blasted the inside of the town with spells as the soldiers landed. Then they began killing. They were inside the walls, so there were no proper defenses. Is their force still there? Only the eye-beasts. The humans didn't try to hold the ruin. They just burned the place down with magical fire. It's a ruin now, little of value left. We still aren't sure where the attack came from. As you speak with the commander, you see that while he is strong, he is increasingly exhausted. Also, the way he moves, you suspect he's getting a bad back. He nervously picks at the mayor's sash as he speaks. I'm quite busy, young hero. What can I help you with? You're the commander and the mayor? Temporarily, the mayor of Silvar was in Katra when it was attacked. He failed to escape alive. I hold the sash until the castle can select a replacement. Any problems bothering you here? Plenty, inside and outside the walls. We think some brigands inside Silvar are harassing the refugees. He thinks. Wait, you're a soldier. If you want a mission, let me know. If you succeed, I can help you. I'll take any missions you can offer me. He explains the mission. We've been working on a peace treaty with the Nephilim tribes, uniting them with us against the Empire. We're close to success, but first they want help. They want us to free a bunch of Nephilim slaves from a band of Nephilim. The Nephilim enslaving each other? Unbelievable. Yeah, you heard right. One band of kiddies enslaving another, and we're supposed to risk life and limb freeing them. But hey, if it works, the kiddies would make good allies. Anyway, there's a Nephil in town called Arm. or something in town. Ask him about the mission. He'll help you. The Nephilim would help against the Empire? The Nephilim hate the Empire more than we do, if you can believe it. On the surface, the Empire has been slaughtering them. Either that or sending all of them down here. The Empire won't be content until every Nephil is dead. And believe me, the Nephilim take it very personally. Alright, so let's go back to him then. I was told that you could help us to free some Nephilim slave. Arm continues to work on his milk, lapping it up with long, slow strokes of his tongue. Occasionally, he wipes and passes down a section of his fur. Nephilim, like cats, are fastidious creatures. I was told that you could help us to free some Nephilim slaves. His eyes flash. Meow! At last, one's to help us. My peoples are held by angry mule Nephilim in cave far to north and a little east. If you were freeing them, they could revolt and help you. Murr. Nephilim not all bad, but these should die. What are mule Nephilim? Nephilim, like what you humans call mules, bigger than us and sterile. These mules hate us and enslave us. Murr. But kill their chief and may inspire Nephilim to revolt, so you can free prisoners. To be tried, one hope. Murr. To enslave us is evil bad. They must be punished. Anything else you can tell us about the Nephilim lair? Go north to Fort Dubno. Go east from there to Big Cave Wall. Follow Cave Wall north and you find tunnel to Bad Nephilim lair. Okay, so that's how Arm's gonna help us. Alright. We touched that pylon and got the letters. Saw these out here. This is a small, busy shipyard. Long, flat-bottomed boats are constantly being built here. One boat rests on the platform in the center, being repaired after recent battle. These crafts are sent out to fight the Empire as soon as they're completed. A sweaty woman wearing a leather jerkin rushes by you. Her tool belt clatters loudly as she rushes around, directing the creation of several cave boats. You manage to flag her down. She has long, reddish hair, a round face, and a harried expression. Hello, I'm Ruth. Are you interested in boats? We make boats. What is your job? I'm the town's shipwright. It's a busy time for us. She wipes sweat off her forehead with the sleeve of a rough, hand-spun shirt. Busy making boats for the army? Yes, Katra got destroyed in an attack by boat and air. Same thing could happen to Silvar. We're making war boats to keep it from happening again. How would that help? Katra didn't have sentries out in the water. That's how the eye beasts could fly in and not be seen until their spells hit the shore. Of course, being a sea sentry is sort of suicidal. Still, better to lose a few boats than a whole city. Ruth continues to direct her shop as she talks with you. Her workers are repairing one boat and making the frame of another. It looks like they're perpetually low on supplies, but they're trying to make boats as quickly as they can. I could use a boat. You're in luck. You're Avernum soldiers. If you weren't, I couldn't sell to you. Well, we're busy making war boats. Obviously, you can't get any of those. However, we have a few small fishing boats. You could purchase one of those, only 400 coins. I'll take one. She takes your coins. The boats are out at the docks. One of them is yours. They're not flashy, but they're good and stable. Good luck. Okay, so we definitely need to get a boat from here. This corner of Silvar is filled with hastily built stone buildings. They are already crumbling. This grim slum is full of thin, exhausted people and piles of garbage. This must be where they're sticking the refugees from Katra until their city can be retaken and rebuilt. It's a depressing sight. When you enter the slum, the refugees quickly find other places to be. Even though you are soldiers of Avernum, they reflexively keep away from anyone armed. They have not been treated well. This building is crammed with destitute refugees. When they see you, they grab clubs and stone knives, ready to protect their meager possessions. You convince them that you mean them no harm, but they still keep their weapons close at hand. You talk to the refugees from Katra. Most of them avoid you. A few share their tales of terror and woe from the night of the attack. The main thing you get is complaints, lack of food, filthy buildings, and worst of all, they are being harassed by a band of brigands hiding in Silvar. Okay, so far more refugees. We're not gonna steal. Even if I did have the option, I wouldn't really steal from refugees anyway. Okay, same dialogue as before. More refugees in here. Okay, a wall that can be cracked with move mountains if we wanted. There is a dirty man wearing leather armor in this hovel. He doesn't trust you. He doesn't draw his sword, but keeps his hand near it. You ask his name. They call me Asp. I'm from Katra. Sorry about what happened to Katra. Yeah, well, I guess that's more reason to hate the Empire. But then again, these days I have enough to worry about with all the brigands around town. Do you know how Katra was attacked? I was there when the whole mess happened. They hit us by sea. Crack troops and mages and a bunch of flying spellcasting monsters. They didn't want to hold the city, just tear it apart. They blasted everything with spells. Everything. I hear it's just a ruin now, with looters and monsters. And bodies. Bad place to be. Real bad. I can't help get rid of the brigands. These are alright, sometimes, but there's a group that's picking on the refugees. Taking what little they got. Total scum. They got a lair near here, somewhere in town. I'm trying to figure out what to do about them. Where are the brigands? I hear they have a hidden lair in the slums in the corner of town. At least, that's rumors. Don't get me wrong, I've done my share of thieving. But to treat refugees like that in wartime? Disgusting. Asp was definitely the one, if you remember from the first game, who helped our group steal that circlet from Queen Mina. Inspire, which was pretty cool. Otherwise, he wasn't very talkative at all. A small, lethal woman sits alone in this crude shantytown hovel. She watches you carefully, of course, even after she verifies you're an Avernite soldier and not some brigand. She has a wickedly sharp knife hanging from her belt and two more strapped to her thighs. This is the dangerous part of town. She gives you a little nod. I'm Elspeth, soldier. What do you want? I mean you no harm. I knew that when I looked you in the eyes. Have to be careful, though. The slum is a dangerous place for Katrans, no matter what Commander Arlen says. You fled Katra? Most of us here dead. The Empire came in from the sea, bringing steel and fire. Fortunately, it took them hours to encircle the town. Most of the people escaped, fleeing in all directions. Now that Elspeth knows that you aren't here to attack her, she relaxes. A little. She sharpens one of her many knives on a gray stone as she speaks with you. What are you doing back here? She spits into the fire, keeping an eye out for the brigands and keeping an eye on the refugees. Are there brigands stalking the refugees? There is a band of them with a hidden lair in this slum. They are bothering the honest folk. It is none of your concern. We'll take care of it. She pats her knives. Why do you have to keep an eye on the refugees? Someone has to. You'll be leaving soon enough, yes? She pauses to think. You're a soldier, right? You travel? I'm looking for someone. Maybe a refugee. Her name's Nance. Maybe I can find her for you. She seems pleased, though she takes pains to hide it. I do not know if she is still safe, and it worries me terribly. I can't search for her, though. Refugees fled from Katra in all directions, and she might be anywhere where they have gone. Can you tell us more about Nance? Elspeth's cold exterior cracks for a moment, revealing how worried she is about her missing friend. She is... Leave me be. She turns away. Ooh. What does this button do? And this button. You find a concealed brigand lair. The thieves here have been enriching themselves by bullying and stealing from the Kotran refugees. As soon as they see you, they attack. I really don't want my mage to be right there. Had to hit it. Had to hit with the arrow somehow. Because you definitely cannot hit. You cannot fire your bow if you're right next to an enemy. You have to be away. You know, this definitely is not a quest, but at the same time, it is something you can do for XP, which is why we're doing it. I didn't want to do that. I'm just gonna go AWOL with the spells here because of how we can just easily recharge. So the leader of this hidden band of brigands starts to look worried. He casts a spell, creating a ward of protection around himself. Oh, that's what the blade shield does. It stuns. Okay. But you can't protect yourself from arrows, fool. Or this. You killed the leader of these evil brigands. They have been filling their pockets at the expense of the unfortunate refugees of Katra. Nobody will shed any tears over their demise. Now let's loot up here. Loka Blessings. Okay, that is very good for our sorcerer. With that in mind, let's go ahead and exit and come back in here. Let's go ahead and see how they feel about that now. He smiles. I heard what you did to those brigands. Word got around. Nice to know some of our knights still care about what happens to the refugees. There were, until you took care of them. We could have handled the problem ourselves, but we appreciate your help. There will be more, though. Bet on it. Okay, well, we do, even though that wasn't technically a quest, we do have the quest to find Nance. So, where is that? We killed some brigands. They were bothering the refugees. I am glad to hear it. We've been trying to find them and spare the strength to dispatch them, but no luck. You've been a great help. Though his words are kind, he seems irritated that you took care of the problem instead of him. Oh well. Still a good deed done. And he did give us that quest to defeat the Fair, so we'll take care of that. So let's go ahead and find that Neferum fort. Northeast of Fort Duvno. This cavern is home to a few small irritable lizards. When you get close, they scurry out of the rocks hoping for a meal. Oh, don't. I did not want to fight freaking basilisks, though. Whatever, we'll take the XP in the meantime. And yeah, speaking of the bandits, though, even though Elspeth says there will be probably more, at the same time, still buying a reprieve is still better than nothing at all. You search the basilisk's lair looking for treasure. One of their petrified victims still holds a slender rod of ivory carved with intricate runes. Ensnaring one, which I personally do not care for that much. Let's go ahead and reach. Actually, let's go in here because there's a quest here. When you try to enter this dark, overgrown glade, you find the path is blocked by a huge crowd of gremlins. You immediately notice two things. First, the gremlins are extremely glum, and second, they are all male. Very odd. They seem sedate and harmless, but gremlins are volatile and potentially dangerous creatures. The gremlins seem too depressed to react as you approach, although they still block your way into the glade. One of the elders of these purple creatures approaches you. You ask what's wrong. He says, "It's so awful, you see. Recently, all of our women decided to go out for a walk, or a wine run. We aren't sure. Anyway, they never came back. It's scandalous. I mean, it's usually trees that act like that. Oh, if only someone could tell us where they went. Their absence is causing us great discomfort, and we would greatly reward anyone who could tell us where they were." He turns to leave, then remembers something. By the way, they were all wearing pink ribbons when they left. This may help. He then turns to go back to moping. Okay, yeah, so I remember that quest. You have to find some gremlin now. Okay, we'll just avoid that fight for now. To the north, you see that a band of Nephilim or Neferum, or both, have burrowed out a fort of the living rock of the cave wall. A large band of guards keeps a careful watch in front. Ooh, that was a laggy moment right there. Good thing I'm close to saving anyway. Okay, let's heal up real quick and then we'll go inside. Check our... Oh, we're close to leveling up, actually. Okay. Let's go ahead and put on a ward real quick. I'll save the game right here, and I'll see you all soon with the next for our Let's Play.